Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of It's Look Who It Is. Rushing at the last second, the last possible second, Anna? Anna? That's crazy. Can't wait to see the most cursed shit of my life on this seed. But, Metal Slug Awakening Season 1? What the hell is this? This looks AI generated. What? Is this real? This doesn't look real. Theo! This looks AI generated. This doesn't look real. You don't look like Aerie. Who the hell are you? Metal Slug Awakening Season 1? Get the hell out of here. How dare you put that advertisement in front of my, Give It All Wicked Thunder 1 hour long video, you stupid piece of... What is wrong with you? I'm gonna listen to Tribute to Anima Lucaris. Listen, that video, it's 15 years old, by the way, 2009. I love that video. I love the Anima Lucaris. I wanted to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the Paleozoic deck with the Anima Lucaris. Listen, I've said this before, I'll say it 80 million more times. I get into things, okay? I get into things, we're playing Juri. We're playing Juri with all perks. I get into things because of specific things, and then I never interact with that thing, okay? Yu-Gi-Oh! Final Fantasy XIV. Two biggest things I can think of off the top of my head, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again because I found out that there was a deck called Paleozoics, which had an Anima Lucaris card. So I wanted to play a deck with an Anima Lucaris in it. And so that's why I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. You know what I ended up playing? Madolche. You know what I want to play if I go back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again? Nemleria. Because Nemleria is a based archetype. Sleepy. Very sleepy. But, no, I've never played a Paleozoic deck. I've never played a Paleozoic deck, even though I wanted to. I'm a Madolche main, and then I dabbled in, Venom for a little bit, and then they took, Bishballin away from me, and then I never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. That's just me in every card game imaginable. They ban the thing that I like, and then I stop playing. Sorry, I am that dickhead. But I do like Madolche, I do like Venom, I do like snakes, I like reptiles, I like reptile decks, I like Venomanaga. And then I like Nemleria. I played Nemleria on one of those Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulator games, and then I was like, oh hell yeah, that's great. And then I think they added it to Master Duel, but I don't really want to go back. I need some money? Dab me up? But then the second thing, Final Fantasy XIV, okay? You already know, okay, listen. You already know that a Final Fantasy XIV anecdote is going to be upon ye, alright? You already know that, okay? Everybody's already saying this, you already know. Yeah, it's not very good, honestly. It's not very good. Do we try to get, like, a different weapon and then just hope that it's not dog? I mean, 4 damage is fine, but 50 chance to hit's really bad. Did we not pick randomized item statistics? Because these are looking, like, pretty normal. But you know what? Screw it. Give me the monkey wrench. Let's do it. We're ballin'. So, I started playing Final Fantasy XIV for 3 reasons, okay? Dragoon, Astrologian, and Nier. So, when I was looking at the MMOs to play, I ended up picking... I was looking through them all, and I ended up seeing... Like, I was going through... I think it... Was it still PSO2, or was it starting new... Was it New Genesis back in, like, early 2020? I don't remember. Like, New Genesis is on, like, 2nd or 3rd anniversary, so it had to have been PSO2 Classic. So I was thinking of PSO2... I was thinking of BDO. BDO gets me with the Siren song sometimes, I'll admit. I have the brainworms that I want to play BDO. and I play BDO for like 10 hours and then I stop playing, and that's just sort of like the life that I have. We are 46 on the horror meter, by the way, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're just gonna bish ball on our way to victory here. Thank you, tribute to Anima Lucaris. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Nothing hits harder than those like blue backgrounds with the white text. What the? But I started playing for the... I was looking at the jobs in Final Fantasy XIV, and I was looking at the classes in other MMOs, and I saw the Dragoon, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You can, like, jump in the air and then slam down with like, your spear. This reminds me of that one tower in Crystal Defenders called the Dragoon that would jump up and down. Little did I know that Crystal Defenders is an officially licensed Final Fantasy game. But that's literally the thought that was going through my head. It's like, oh, this reminds me of the Dragoon from Crystal Defenders. And then I saw the Astrologian, and I was like, wow, this is aesthetically, like, the coolest job of all time. You're a time-space wizard that heals people with the magic of time manipulation. That's awesome. And so I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I wanted to be a healer right off the bat, because I was more interested in being a healer, because most games that you play do not have a dedicated healer role. You know what I mean? Like, most games do not have someone who's like, okay, I'm the healer, it's my job to keep you alive, in the traditional sense of, like, I have a healing spell to cast, you know? A lot of games have this thing where it's like, okay, I'm, like, the support, but, like, my job is to, like, obviously Final Fantasy XIV DPS is the most important thing, right? And supports do DPS. But what I mean is, in other games, you have, like, generic Shooter Man, who has a special ability that lets him do more damage. You have generic Shooter Man that has a special ability that allows them to, like, move really quickly. And then you have generic Shooter Man who has an ability that lets you, like, shield your teammates or revive them quickly, you know? Something like that. But Final Fantasy XIV has a role that's dedicated to, like, your main job is to keep your party alive and revive them when they die, you know? So it was intriguing to me. It was something that I'd never really experienced before, because, you know, BDO, everybody's selfish, except for the, what is it, the little boomerang, Andes, you know? Are they the, it's not the Lawn. The Lawn is the one that flies. The Shy. Yeah, the Shy. And of course, the benefit of playing the Shy, at least back when I was interested in BDO, was... So I was looking at the jobs in BDO, and it's like the only support in BDO, the only pure support is the Shy. And so I picked the Shy because I wanted to be the support. And the problem with that is that the Shy is so good at healing, sustain, and supporting, and all of those abilities work on the Shy themselves, that the niche advantage of having the Shy back then was that you could solo things that required groups of people originally. So that was really frustrating. Because it was just like, you know, I wanted to play an MMO to, like, not be isolated. I wanted to play with other people. And so a healer that kind of relies on their party sounded really good. Now, obviously, I had no idea at the time that healers just do big dick DPS, as the old adage goes. And, you know, you heal people if you feel like it. Let's get my weird collection. Let's start balling, you know? And here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I had no idea that healers were just green DPS. But when you first start playing, it doesn't, like, feel that way, you know? Because damage hurts, tanks don't have their mitigations unlocked yet, so it actually gets easier to heal the longer the game goes on. And at the beginning of the game, when you'd assume it would be the easiest, it's actually the hardest. because all the tanks are wall-to-wall pulling, and you have to keep up with them and keep them healed while they're pulling, and then when they stop pulling, they get mobbed by every enemy in the next 15 area codes over. Because back then, you could do psychotic wall-to-wall pulls, and it's not like it is now, right? Because how it is now is literally like, it's baby mode. You do 2 packs at a time, and sometimes the packs are just like 4 mobs and 1 big mob, and you want to focus the big mob because it'll take like 2 minutes to kill. And also, in the future, like in future content, tanks have all their mitigations and all their mitigation bonuses. So it's like a decent tank can keep themselves alive without you for quite a bit in high-end content. And if it's during a boss fight, they can basically keep themselves alive 100% of the time as long as they don't screw up the fight. But in the early game, where auto attacks deal a lot of damage and tanks don't have a lot of mitigation or self-healing, yeah, they can die. Which I think is really interesting, but, you know. Ah, sure, we'll go in the portal, that's fine. It's look who it is. I would rather take the plus knowledge. If I could succeed any of these, I would take knowledge. Broken Nose is also, like, completely fine, because it doesn't actually affect this, even though it is resting. So the thing is, with me wanting to play Final Fantasy XIV because of Dragoon and Astrologian, I wish I picked Dragoon, because Dragoon has, like, the Dragoon job quest has quite a bit of, like, relevancy to the plot, because it actually has your, like, friend in the job quest is a character who is plot relevant, and it, like, that would be cool. That would be cool if I actually did play Dragoon, but I didn't. I didn't play Dragoon. I was interested in playing Dragoon and Astrologian, and I just played White Mage, and that was it. I eventually branched off into Astrologian, and I thought Astrologian was pretty cool for the brief amount of time that I played it, because it had the diurnal and nocturnal sect where you could choose to be a regen healer or a barrier healer. I thought that was really cool, and aesthetically I thought nocturnal sect was the coolest, even though it was objectively the worst. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna complain. You're gonna give me some really good perks to choose from, and I'm gonna appreciate that greatly. I'm gonna rest again, I think. It's a little sus because we do have the horror meter going on, but we just got a fantastic perk. We would like to level up more for sure, but I feel like we should maybe just take steps to secure the run that we've already got going on, if that makes sense, just because of how strong those perks are. So I started, oh my god, let's go gambling! I mean, we might as well do this again, right? Actually, you know what I'd rather do? Go ahead and dab me up with something like this. What do you mean that's a .25, you piece? Shouldn't even be possible. Can we do 2-2? We can do 90-90. Let's go gambling, chat. So, you know, I started playing Astrologian, but I'm like, you know, I don't really want, like, I was getting momentum with Heavensward, so I didn't want to, like, delay myself and level Astrologian and then continue the MSQ. The timeline that we were in where I became an Astrologian main. Whoo, boy. But, you know, when they reworked Astrologian, it was, it just made the job way less fun for me. Because I really aesthetically liked Diurnal and Nocturnal. I was bad at the game, I didn't know what I was thinking, etc., right? I was just a baby. Don't be mean to me. I'm just a little guy. It was my birthday back then. I'm just a little guy. You wouldn't fight a little guy on his birthday, would you? But I didn't like New Astrologian. I did play it. I did level it to 90 when Endwalker came out. I didn't like it, though. And I just kept going back to White Mage. White Mage was old, reliable, that made me feel good in pretty much every situation. I loved playing White Mage. And then I was looking for more jobs to pick up, and so I was lazy, and I didn't want to level. Even though I've kind of turned, I've kind of come around on leveling. I think if I'm in the mood for it, I can bang it out pretty quick for a job from whatever to level 100. I think I can do that if I really, like, you know, get it in my system, of course. But the thing is, I will do Doomed already, I think, yeah? And then just another point of strength as a treat. Ooh, time skip? 10 on the horror meter. We're going right back to 86. I mean, if you insist. I think it's a little rude, though. We could do this, and I think I will, just for fun, but I do kind of want to unequip that. Recluse sucks. Frightening Flood, Violent Vigil. I almost want to go Frightening Flood just so that we can skip the mystery as quick as possible so that we can definitely level up again. Because we've already got, like, attack speed that we can feel pretty good about. Anima Lucaris, you could bring me to life any day. You could wake me up any day. You could save me any day, Anima Lucaris. But I never played Dragoon because I didn't want to level a DPS, and then I just didn't like Astrologian, so I never played it outside of very briefly. And when I wanted a tank and a DPS, I was lazy and I didn't want to level, so I picked Gunbreaker and Dancer. And for what it's worth, I actually do really like Gunbreaker. I'm a freestyle and ballin' Gunbreaker. I will never try to get good at Gunbreaker for as long as I live. No way in hell, that shit is way too complicated. It does feel a little bit better now that they got rid of Rough Divide, and it's just that there's no more Gap Closer for you to spam, because that shit was crazy. Like, during your continuation combo, you'd be double weaving all the time, especially with that stupid Gap Closer. So I'm glad that they got rid of it, because it was just Gunbreaker's opener. Like, I know people who play Gunbreaker, like, religiously, and they didn't like it. It was too busy, and they're happy that it's gone. And here's the thing, I'm not a competitive, like, high-parsing Gunbreaker, I'm a casual Gunbreaker, but I like the new change as well, because, honestly, I'm gonna give you my hottest Final Fantasy XIV take, okay? I think it's really stupid that you have something that the purpose of the ability is to get you from far away to the enemy to melee range of the enemy. That's the purpose of the ability, that's why it exists, that's the utility that it has. Giving that a damage potency sucks, because it means that you're not using the skill for its intended purpose, you're using the skill exclusively for, I think we do just fully, like, just full heal it. I do, hopefully we get him, like, after this immediately. There we go, we did get him after that immediately. But, like, I think it's dumb. I think it is, because the purpose of a gap closer is to close the gap, not to do damage. And here's the thing, Paladin and Warriors still have their damaging gap closers, but I'm glad Gunbreaker doesn't have Rough Divide anymore. Because it just felt awkward and clunky to use. Like, it didn't feel good. Like, so much of Gunbreaker's kit feels good to play, and then, like, fitting in your Rough Divides just felt awful. Right? Like, okay, yeah, there was some cool optimization work you could do where it's like, oh, well, I know that I need to Rough Divide here, so I'm actually gonna hold it, or I used a charge of it earlier so that it perfectly comes off cooldown when I need it and it doesn't overcap the fight. Like, okay, that's cool, but could you maybe do that with, like, an actual damaging ability? And there's still nuance there, too, because when you need to gap close, you still need to gap close, and that's, like, a thing that's an action that you have to take. So, like, yeah, no, Rough Divide sucked. Rough Divide sucked. I'm glad that it's gone. I do think putting, the dot, the single target dot behind Burst is very strange. Because it's like, yeah, but also, I don't know, it's made me in Fates pop my damage buff maybe when I didn't want to, because, like, I want to, like, put a dot on an enemy that's healthy, and then the other enemies haven't respawned yet, so it's a hyper-specific situation for something that doesn't matter, admittedly. But, like, I don't know, I just think that's, oh my god! Holy crap! You want to talk about ballin'? We do need to probably block the next attack, if I'm being serious. But yeah, no, it's just like, oh my god, oh my goodness. I picked Gunbreaker because I didn't want to level a tank from, you know, level 1 to level 90 or level 30 to level 90, so I picked the one that starts at level 60. And then I didn't want to level a DPS that much, so I started with Dancer. And Dancer is probably the only job that I started early on that I really don't... Like, I mean, Dancer's fine. I just... Okay. I would only ever pick Dancer if I needed to be a Fizz ranged, because I don't have Bard leveled up on my main yet, because I bought a job boost on an alt who's a Bard, and I think Bard is really fun. Like, I think Bard and Paladin are really fun, but I don't have them leveled on my main yet. So if I had Bard leveled and geared on my main, I would pick Bard over Dancer, like, 100% of the time. At least as far as Endwalker is concerned. I haven't played Endwalker Dancer or Endwalker Bard yet. Endwalker! I'm so used to saying it! Dawn Trail! Dawn Trail Bard, Dawn Trail Dancer. I haven't played them in Dawn Trail at level 100 yet. But I'm going to be honest with you, I think Fizz Ranged is, like, something that I'm kind of okay with just having it pass by me as far as roles are concerned, because if I ever need to go ranged now, I can just play Pictomancer, and I love Pictomancer a lot. Like, Pictomancer is genuinely super fun. Like, yeah, no, Pictomancer is probably one of the best jobs they've ever made in this game. And because cinematic parallels exist, the next DPS that I picked after Dancer was Reaper, because it was the closest... Reaper and Sage, for healer, because they started at level 70, because they were the Endwalker jobs, right? Sage, I like. I don't like Scholar, I like Sage. I could see myself rating as Sage. And also, Sage has a really cool limit break. But, I could definitely see myself rating as Sage. Could never see myself rating as Scholar. I like abilities that change your glamour. And so I was interested in the new Scholar for Dawn Trail, but I do not like the fairy. I do not like the fairy and I do not like the fairy. I think that Scholar is clunky as hell, and I don't like playing Scholar. It feels unresponsive and clunky. Which, I'm not saying that Yoshi P should strike Scholars down from hell and make them summoner but healer, but I am saying that I don't like it, and I don't really like playing it outside of I leveled it up, so... I'll say that much. So, anyways, Reaper, though, I actually have a lot of fun with, too. Reaper was boring when I first started it, but when I unlocked Enshroud, that was like Danny DeVito in the cinema, and I completely understood. Because, so you're basically like, you know, you're doing your normal Scythe combo, and then you can, like, summon your stand to do, like, a demon swipe, and then your stand gives you an enhanced Gibbet, Gallows, Guillotine that you can then use, and those are positionals, so that's pretty fun. And then you get Enshroud, where your glamour turns into this, like, cloaked Reaper with glowing red eyes, and you just spam the shit out of your buttons. You alternate between... I know one of them is called, like, Lemur's Strike, and then the other one is called something else. And then you have, like, your enhanced stand abilities, and then you end it with Communio and now Perfectio, and it's like, oh, baby, that shit's beautiful. I still think Communio is cooler than Perfectio, I'm sorry. But, nah, Reaper hit all the right, buttons, and by buttons I mean happy chemicals. Reaper hit 110% of the happy chemicals in my brain. We got another rock ring? Are you freaking crazy, dude? We wanna... Alright, the 3-bow extravaganza. You've prayed enough. You've prayed enough! That was a -3 reason? That's kind of scary. I would like to level up again, if you'd be so kind. We don't need all these notes in our inventory. They're not very helpful. Please give me the meat cleaver. And then finally, the last thing that I played Final Fantasy XIV for was the Nier raids, because it had a Nier Automata, well, it has a Nier Automata collaboration, where instead of having a normal Alliance raid series, it has the Nier Alliance raids, which I've seen the gifs of the trains running people over and the Square Enix, like, company building being thrown at people, and that's fun, but for some reason it just completely passed me by. And I've had no interest to go back to it. Not even go back to it. I don't even have the first one unlocked. So this is our final perk. Better be a good one. I almost want to re-roll, but... Because the thing is, we're not going to get Perception to 8, so that's, like, pretty awful, you know? That's, like, pretty terrible. Like, we would have to Parting Gift Enthrallment, and then kill our ally, and then try to get bonus knowledge. So it doesn't really do... Why is our... Oh, no, we don't have... I just realized something. We have no way to cure this. So that's pretty bad, actually. Maybe we do want Parting Gift. Maybe we want a good perk. Oh, bonus damage to ghosts. I almost want to reroll this again, I'm not gonna lie, but... I'm dumb! We're on Billy Mays! Oh. Well, it's okay. I just wanted to get my attack speed back. You can't blame me. We burn those, chat. Maybe I should have opened it so that we could try to get a way to instantly kill the ghost, because 8 knowledge does not exist in our future. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and block, and then we're gonna do something like this. But also, like, you know, what we can do. Chat, what we can do. I mean, we're gonna be fine on the Doom end of things. I can't believe I didn't. We could have been at 8 knowledge, you piece. Okay, don't mind me really quick. Don't mind me really quick. Do we have... What god are we on? Athyelozath? Lowers 1 Doom by every item in your inventory. Discard on use. No. I don't want that. I would die. Sacrifice the guest. Sacrifice the guest. Get him out of here. Throw him in the pits of hell. Drag him down. And there we go. I don't know if we're gonna win, but, we are certainly existing in the context of all who came before us. Much to my, Well, that's bad. But yeah, all of them just kind of completely passed me by in every way possible. I don't play Dragoon. I think my Dragoon's like level 51. And then my Astrologian is still level 90. I haven't played it in Dawn Trail yet. And then, you know, we got, I haven't done the Nier raids. And here I am playing White Mage, Pictomancer, and I'm trying to dabble in Reaper. I'm going to be honest with you, I would not mind trying to Savage Raid as a Reaper. Well, at least do the extremes as a Reaper, because I do get kind of lost in the sauce. I think I need to move my... Because I'll admit, okay, I'll admit, I'm a hotbar watching Andy. I don't know what it is, but I can't, like... I need to go on, like, a training arc or something, because I haven't been able to, like, actually play without the hotbars, unless it's, like, a job that I've played, like, literally for thousands of hours, you know what I mean? Like, I can play White Mage without looking at my hotbar, but I still need to see my hotbar for, like, cooldowns and stuff, and so, I don't know. I think I need to move my hotbars up to be closer to the center of the screen. And I think that if I did that, it would be a lot more convenient, because I am a hotbar watching Andy. I wish... There probably is a way, but I don't know how to do it, where you make a new hotbar that has that feature where it's like untaken spots are invisible, and then you just have that hotbar be really big near the center of your screen so you can see your cooldowns and your GCD rolling. Now, admittedly, there's probably an add-on for that, but we don't use those. We don't use those, chat. 4 damage is better than no damage. Now, the question is, can we do something like this? So we do 16 damage, and we take 4. Yep, you gotta go with it. It's look who it is, it's look how it is. That's the only way that you're getting out of here. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe you sold it up. Alright, we win. Alright, we're fine with that. No matter what the lighthouse wants to throw at us right now, we're completely fine. Because if we're gonna die, we can just equip the gruesome totem and rest 80 times. So, -3, and no heart, right? This is -3, -3, -3, -6, -3, seconds, and then final boss. So, we are only taking -6, -3. So, assuming we don't have Inzmasu look, which we do not, it is entirely possible that we can just win these, chat. But, to kind of, like, show you what I mean, right? Because, I mean, but the strength does matter. But, like, we can just rest anyways. And then, if it becomes an issue, we can just switch to the gruesome totem, you know? So it's like, we take 3 damage there. And then if we had the charisma thing, we would take 2 more damage. And then we would be fine, because we healed enough. And if it becomes an issue, we have the gruesome totem to just slap onto any and all of our problems. So, our second enemy... This is really weird. I actually have no idea. I want to say it was Magician glitched, and that would be wrong. So, since this is going to be a problem, we'll switch items after our homeboy here is dead and buried in the goddamn ground where he belongs. Oh, there's no, yeah, gotcha. But, I mean, it is pretty cool. We can just hold on to it if we want to. 85 Doom, by the way. Alternatively, use the monument once. Or one more time. I don't know if we use the monument in this run. Now, we don't have much time for me to render this video. Oh, I'm really glad I don't have window capture on. You would have seen me listening to, It's Jover, isn't it? AI cover. Listen, my morbid curiosity got the better of me because of recent Joe-related events. I thought that maybe this was a topical video that was made in haste, but it was actually made, like, how many months ago? 11 months ago? Almost a year ago? It's almost the year anniversary of that video. It's look who it is. Evolved by an item Sinnoh. Togekiss? Yippee! Paldea Area 0 DLC. Ogre Pond. We'll come back to that. Evolved by an item Kanto. Kanto is just, like, you know... Listen, I know it's a meme, but I will rep my favorite evolution, because it's Kanto, right? So it's just, you'd lock that in. Sinnoh Poison. My boy. One of my favorite Pokemon, Drapion. Paldea Area 0 DLC. How the hell am I supposed to know that, brother? Kanto Poison? We can rep Ekans. Snake Moment. Monotype Sinnoh. I mean, we could just do, like, Piplup. Piplup's not a steel type yet. I don't... Listen, this sucks, okay? You gotta believe me. I mean, we'll just keep it going, honestly. Paldea Area 0. Evolved by item. Poison, monotype. I don't know. Dun sparse. Holy shit, it's a monotype. Evolved by item poison. Most of my Paldea Area Zero DLC knowledge comes from the irons, and I don't know if any of the irons are considered poison. Maybe moth is... I don't really have a better guess. So I think we just send it, because I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't know. Okay, evolve by item, Paldea. This is probably not happening. I'm gonna guess Ogerpon for fun, because, I mean, I don't know. How do you get a blue Ogerpon? Armor Rouge, never happening. No, I don't even know what this is. Ceruledge, maybe. I didn't remember it was Paldea. I either didn't remember it was Paldea or didn't remember it was evolved by an item. Dippin, Ceaton, no, none of this is ever happening. I'm sorry. Literally 0 chance. Ceruledge is like the only chance we had, and I didn't even think about it once. Reverum, Perchant, Monkey Dory, Wooper. Oh, Wooper, Paldea, and Clodsire are poison. Okay. A Giraffe. A Giraffe. A Mousehold? A Quaxley? Oh, Fukoko is, that's the fire guy, right? The Skeledirge dude? So there we go. Lorigato, that's the weed cat, right? Okay, okay. Okay. Plouf? We got some potential tech here in the future, okay? I'm learning. I'm the 1.2% of, I'm the one player who done Sparse 3 segment. Sorry, I'm just so based like that. Do we have time for the Laldle? No, we don't. But we'll do it anyways, I guess. I mean, we really don't have time for it. This video is not going to come out on the day it's supposed to come out on. Ari. Alright. Udyr. Ranged? Male ranged middle. Male ranged middle mana. 2009? I don't know when Rise came out. Human magically altered. 2009 is correct. Male middle mage. Frick you. I have no idea who that could be. I mean, I'll cheat, okay? Because there's no way to just skip it if you don't know. LOL champion list. I'll just leave this open. This is important, okay? Male mana middle. I'm gonna not sort by release date, and I'm just gonna try not to notice release dates. I'm just looking at the champions, like, name and icon to try to get, like, an idea. Jace is definitely not it. 100%. I don't believe it's Jace for a second. It's not Karthus. It could be Vygar now that I think about it. I'm on the Ks right now, so I haven't seen Vygar yet, but it could be Vygar. Especially because they're not human, right? It has to be something like Vygar or Xerath, right? Like, it has to be, right? Okay, yeah, we did it. Yordle, mana, mid. Only one that's happening like that. Quote. For my father, the king. Garen. Darius. Jarvan. I was just running through the list. Malphite. Kha'Zix. I wish it wasn't rotated. Kasai. Purple projectiles. Purple projectiles. Purple projectiles. Don't get it confused, okay? Purple projectiles. Rakan. Galio. New Destiny? Hello? Huh? What on earth is this? Vladimir? Who? I'm so sorry. New Destiny? Yone? Graves? Passive? I have played Graves and I didn't even remember that. That's why I guess passives, because you don't... Alright, Ari. It's Ari or Evelyn. Alright, splash art time. Alright, this is Leona. And this is the regular Battle Academy Leona. Not Prestige. There we go. Alright, easy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.